Well, good morning, brethren. We're back again for our daily devotions in Paul's prayer for the Philippians. We've seen that he has prayed a prayer in relation to their heart, that their love may abound. He has prayed a prayer in relation to their mind, that their love may abound yet more and more in knowledge and in all discernment, that they may be able to know what is best. Now we see that he prays a prayer in relation to their life. He says that he prays that they may be pure and blameless until the day of Christ. This was one of the reasons why Paul wanted their love to grow and to become more discerning, so that acting on the basis of such love, a love for God and a love for others, they would live godly, upright lives before God. He uses two wonderful word pictures here. First is the word pure, and this word pure is a picture of precious metal being taken and put into a furnace with a view to removing from that metal any dross, any impurities that are in it. And as the dross is removed, so the metal becomes more pure. The other picture that is given of this same word pure is of water that is contaminated, passing through various stages of filtration in order that the end product would be pure water. I've never been to Switzerland, but I believe that out of Lake Geneva, the river Rhone runs. And when the river Rhone leaves Lake Geneva, the waters of the Rhone are perfectly clear and blue. But as the river winds its way down to the countryside, it's joined by another river, the river Arve. And that river is full of mud and dirt, and the colour of the water reflects that fact. And as the Arve flows into the Rhone, the waters become mixed. And whilst the Rhone does still retain something of its blueness, you can't help but notice that it's lost something of its purity that it once possessed. I think that's a striking picture of many a Christian life. They start well. There's a noticeable, a distinctive and admirable purity about them as they begin their Christian journey. But as they go on, slowly but surely, the muddy and filthy waters of the many tributaries of the world begin to flow into their life and pollute it. And something of the original beauty remains, yes, but it's polluted. It no longer possesses the distinctive, striking beauty that once caught the eye. It's not as pure as it once was. I grew up in Belfast, and the river Lagoon runs through Belfast. And I remember as a young boy going round to the river and looking into it, and it was full of old prams and bicycles and cookers, and there was even cars in it. It was an awful place, and the smell was terrible. Belfast City Council decided eventually to clean it up, and they sent in the dredging barges. They removed bikes and cookers and cars and everything in it. They took tons of muck out of the riverbed and the riverbanks. They widened it and they deepened it. They repaired the weir, and now today it is a much more presentable and even, you could say, an attractive and eye-catching feature of the city. Yes, the water is still contaminated, but it's not as bad as it once was. Certainly not as bad as it was 50 years ago. And I suppose the question is, have we allowed the river of our Christian life to become contaminated with the refuse of worldliness? I wonder, do any of us need to get down to some serious dredging and cleaning up work and purifying work in our Christian lives? Paul says he wants them to be pure. God willing, tomorrow we'll think of this word blameless. But in the meantime, let's remember Paul's prayer for the life here. What he wanted for the Philippians that was that they might be pure. And what Paul wanted for the Philippians, you can be sure God wants for us. May God help us as we reflect upon this throughout today. Have a good day, folks.